Hello, my name is Lauren Layfield, and this is Your Next Podcast, the podcast which creates a brilliant list of shows for you to try, adding a new one each and every week. This week is a show that I've seen all over my socials and I already could not love it more. It is brand new from the BBC. It's called Miss Me and it's hosted by Lily Allen and Miquita Oliver, who are old mates. They go way back and they now live on opposite sides of the Atlantic. In this podcast, which drops twice a week, praise the Lord, Lily and Miquita catch up about everything in life: love, puppies, boys, random Wikipedia entries, holiday meltdowns, all of it. And all I can say is, you're welcome.
BBC Sounds. Music, radio, podcasts.
A gentle warning, Miss Me contains very strong language and adult themes.
Hello, Lily Allen.
Hi, Miquita Oliver.
This is our first episode of our podcast, Miss Me. We finally named it. We're finally starting, and I'm ready to go.
Here we are.
I'm a bit sick of not starting. Here we are.
Miss me?
I actually don't miss you because I just saw you a few days ago, and that's why I much prefer talking to you on FaceTime. Is that terrible? Is that a really bad sign?
Well, it's kind of the whole concept for this show is that we're going to do this now. So,
but I didn't realise it was my preferred mode of communication with you. In real life, you get on my nerves a little bit more. And now we can let the whole world in.
I wonder if it's to do with other people as well. Maybe it's the combination of me and other people in a room.
Yes, I think that always has been your weak point when others are around. When it's just me and you, one-on-one, that's when you get the good stuff. We're going to be talking to each other twice a week.
Because we're friends, and also we think that some people might like to hear from us because we've been around for a while, haven't we?
Yeah, we've
been doing your broadcasting thing. I was being a pop star for a bit. And this show is all about checking in on each other, reconnecting. I live in New York, in Brooklyn. Miquita lives in East London.
And I think actually what's exciting is that the podcast is going to follow us wherever we go and whatever we do.
Correct.
We do have quite busy, crazy lives, and the podcast is coming with us for all of it.
Yeah. Although I don't know how I'm going to set all this up when I have to go to Nashville. I can imagine me getting in from the studio all day and it's like, right, now you've got to do the Krypton factor in order to get this podcast out. This is actually going to be, this is the, if me and my lovely husband David have a baby, this was going to be the baby's room. But now the podcast is my baby.
Okay.
So, yes.
Do let us know if anything changes and you need to move the podcast to another room. But I've got all my memories in the back here and all my family and all my press. And you're going to maybe have some of the same. You said that you're actually going to put... Basically, I said to you, I think it's really important to have your press all around you to remind you of what you've done. And you've done a hell of a lot of stuff. And now you actually have bought all your old covers from, 15, 20 years?
I went on eBay and I bought, anything that, I just typed in Lily Allen magazine covers and quite a few came up and I bought them all at quite a large expense. It's been a real exercise in narcissism.
But we're going to be talking about everything that happens in life. Lily is in a marriage. I am not. I'm constantly wanting to know more about what it's like to actually have a husband and live a happy married life. It helps if you marry David, who I love with all my heart, as you know. Lily's also a mother. I'm not a mother. I have a lot of nieces and nephews, your kids being included. But I don't actually know what it's like to raise children, apart from your late night FaceTimes telling me.
Yeah, it's hell.
And actually, I have a list. I've been adding things to our list, the big conversation list. So these are the kind of things that we'll be discussing, things that happen in our lives, but I imagine things that happen in everybody's life. From, oh no, that is just me. I won't do that one. Bankruptcy. That was just me. I won't do that
I don't
one.
think you're alone in bankruptcy.
True say. Good point. Maybe Kim Basinger or Wesley Snipes are listening. Because I used to feel...
Maybe, but I also don't think that it's just like famous people that go bankrupt. Lots of people go bankrupt.
Of course not. But when I was going through it, I used to feel a real affiliation with Kim Basinger and Wesley Snipes.
Okay.
We could be dissecting reggae. We could be talking about Josh Hartnett because, wow, not anymore. My Scottish ancestry, the moon and the stars, vibrators. I like that you've been adding your own things to the list. I saw last night. I was like,
I mean, that's not the point in it being a collaboration.
Yes, but so far you haven't added anything. And then last night you added intrusive thoughts. I was like, oh, me too, babe. Me too.
No, do you know what it was? It was just because you keep updating them. I keep getting notifications, and my intrusive thoughts were, I'm going to fucking murder that bitch. I put 4 things. Couples who work out together. Couples who make couple content.
I like couples who make couple content because no one ever thinks about the poor bastard holding the camera. And imagine if that's your girlfriend, you've got to do that 15 times a day. I want to give them a voice. All right?
I just think that I just have no respect for it whatsoever, I'm afraid.
Should probably actually explain exactly how we're going to give these conversations to you and share our experiences with you and just become a family, become a community together. Lily, you named these sections. So if you'd like to... Yeah, we got the meaty drop and listen, bitch.
Oh, we're actually using those words. Okay.
I don't know how we've managed to get
well, yeah, the meaty drop. Where did that come from? I guess maybe because we're dividing the the conversation into 2 parts, really. And one is the meaty chunk of it all. So that's the meaty drop.
I get it. It's kind of like in the vein of photo dump. So that's the discussion, that's the conversation, that's the chat where we have our big talk and sort of go through everything that's going on in our lives and the world around us. And then on Mondays, that's listen, bitch.
Listen, bitch.
Listen, bitch. Feel free to send us different ways to say listen, bitch, because this is just a particular way that we've said it since we were kids, when we were just getting each other's attention. It's very specific, it's particular. Listen, bitch. And I really never thought we'd share it with so many people. But I have to say it's an honour to. It really is.
Listen, bitch.
So yeah, Listen, Bitch is the episode where you ask us questions, but it is going to be themed. We didn't want it to be too just ask us anything. Let's have a theme so that we're all working on the same page. The theme could be like Glastonbury 2009. It could be any Glastonbury, but Glastonbury 2009.
That's quite specific. I would have thought it would have been broader, just like Glastonbury.
Yeah, okay, Glastonbury. But I'm just trying to think about our favourite Glastonbury and what that year might have meant to other people.
The whole point of Glastonbury is that they all sort of blur into one, isn't it? Like, I can't tell you what happened when at Glastonbury.
Okay, we won't do Glastonbury because you can't remember any of them.
I can remember lots of different things that happened there. I just can't tell you when they were.
Do you know what I was going to do? Just in case there is anyone that's like, who's Lily Allen? I was going to read your Wikipedia.
Oh, no, please don't do that.
Don't worry. Mine says that I did a critically acclaimed run of Oliver Twist, the urban version at the Hackney Empire. So don't worry. Yours can't be that bad. All right, we'll just do a little. We'll just do that beginning bit. We won't go into like personal life and like, all that. But Lily Rose Beatrice Allen, that's Lily's full name. She's an English singer-songwriter and actress. Her musical career began in 2005 when she began publishing her vocal recordings on MySpace. If no one's going to know what the hell that is. Their popularity resulted in airplay on Radio 1. It was a big move, actually, and led to her signing with Regal Recordings.
Not quite true. I actually was signed to Regal Recordings before I set up the MySpace, but you do you, Wikipedia.
Oh, yes. Okay. Her 2006 debut single, Smile, was number 1 on the UK singles chart. This is when singles being number 1 was very important, and received double platinum certification by the British phonographic industry. Debut album, All Right, still... I know, I thought it said the British phonographic industry. I was like, why were they giving out awards for it?
Weird.
Her debut album explored ska and reggae.
It did.
It did.
Amongst other things.
Went to number 2. Oh, who was number 1? I know who it was. It was Shakira and Wyclef. Oh no, that was
the single, and I knocked "Hips Don't Lie" off the top spot. Actually,
that might be all you need to say. Actually, she knocked "Hips Don't Lie" by Shakira and Wyclef off the top spot.
Yeah, damn straight.
A varied, multi-layered, iconic career as a singer-songwriter for many, many years.
And I've branched out. I do other things. I've done some musicals, written them, and never made it to the stage. I have acted in a couple of plays in London's West End.
You're an actress now.
Now, let me read your Wikipedia entry, shall I?
Yeah, okay.
Miquita Billy Alexandra Oliver. Born on the 25th of April, 1984. Is a British television presenter and radio personality.
No.
With Simon Amstel, she co-hosted Channel 4's Pop World from 2001 to 2006. She went on to present T4 from 2006 to 2010, as well as having her own show, The Month, with Miquita on 4 Music.
Okay, that's where I want it to stop. Stop. That will do.
And in May 2015, she took part in a 4-part series, 24 Hours in the Past, as herself.
Oh my God. Can we not bring up when I had to dress up as a Victorian with Anne Widdecombe for 2 weeks of my life? It was not a good time in my career. And it was the BBC, so I said yes.
Did you do that homeless, like sleeping on the streets thing as well?
That was your dad.
Oh, I don't know what.
Your dad did that.
Yeah, I get you guys mixed up sometimes.
I get your odd career trajectories mixed up. Yeah, let's end it there.
That's right.
Let's end it there. Who the fuck supplies information to Wikipedia? Just quickly tell me. Is it still like just people?
Anyone. You can make additions. For ages, there was like an entry on it that said that I suffered with Kawasaki disease. And I don't even know what that is.
What a strange thing. Considering the weird shit you've told people that you do have, I can't believe that weird lie is on Wikipedia. I think you know what I mean.
Oh, yeah.
Fake hip? What was it? You said to a famous rapper.
Yeah, once I did have liposuction on my bum. And once I was, fornicating with a rapper. Whatever you want to call them. And said rapper spotted the scars from my liposuction and said, "What are those?" And I panicked because I was too embarrassed to disclose that I'd had liposuction. Yeah. So I said, I had a hip replacement.
And now said rapper walks around.
Somehow thinking that would sound sexier. I was only like 23.
But I just love that said rapper walks around thinking that Lily Allen has fake
I think
hip.
he probably knew that it was not true. Maybe not, though. Maybe it's just... Anyway. Take from that what you will.
We're going to talk about holidays today because... we went on holiday. We had a month in Kenya together. Well, Lily, we did 9 days together. I did a month with my parents.
I thought you were pretty good, actually. I mean, I've known you for a long, long time. I can't even think of when you've been on holiday, except for in the last year. You went to Ibiza.
Oh, fuck me.
And you went to Sicily. And then this year you went to Kenya. But even when I lived in Gloucestershire, you could get you down there for like 24, maybe like 36 hours at a stretch. You can take the girl out of East London. Actually, you can't take the girl out of East London.
Excuse me. It's not that. I just, what the fuck is it? I don't know.
It's FOMO and it's controlling your environment.
Absolutely not FOMO. I don't care about what anyone's doing back here. It's that I don't like the pressure of having to have a good time at all times. I don't like that. I find that intense and like not fun. I'm like, everything's got to be like, we're on holiday, so everything's magical and perfect. It's like, no, it's not. That's why I like a work trip with fun threaded throughout it.
Isn't that your job, pretending that you're having a good time at all times?
Yes, exactly.
Welcome this.
Exactly. So I don't want to do that for two.
If I'm going to have a good time, I want to get paid for it.
Exactly. Or maybe it's because I feel like I don't deserve a good time.
Oh, wow.
You know what I
Save
mean?
it for your therapist, please. Jesus.
I do. I think I don't deserve pleasure.
Oh, no.
We'll talk about that.
We're going to go there
got
on
therapy
episode
to
1? Really? Christ.
The title is, I don't feel I deserve pleasure. No, but that was a pretty great family holiday. We did some really nice, basically when you got there was when I was just about to kill my parents. And so when Lil turned up, I was like, okay, because you love them so much and they love you. So you guys could do all that and I could kind of step back and just breathe a bit. But we did it. Look, we survived. We did it. We went all over Kenya and we had a really nice time. But I was like ready to come home.
You really were by the end of it. She was throwing strops left, right, and centre. She was having to apologise.
We haven't got there yet. We haven't got to Tantrum Town yet. But I was on the edge.
Do you think you preferred our Kenya holiday or our barge trip?
Barge holiday. The year is 1996. It was your dad, Keith Allen, trying to connect with us. And he said to my mum and your mum, I'm going to take the girls on a barge trip. And my mum was like, that is the worst idea I've ever heard. She was like, have you been alone with all three of them, Miquita, Phoebe and Lily, ever? And he was like, yeah, I got this. It's going to be me, Alex James. I don't think Damien Hirst was there.
No, he wasn't.
No, but it was another grown-up. And we were setting off from London to Stratford-upon-Avon. So what happened was it started very upstairs, downstairs. We realised we weren't really welcome on the top deck. That was for the guys, for the boys. And we were just there to cook, which we couldn't do yet because we were children, and also do the locks.
And presumably wash up.
While they partied on the top deck. We were like, they can't treat us like this. They can't do this to us anymore.
We were really tired from doing the locks all day.
Can I just say, we're not dramatising this. It did feel like we were there to be slaves. And we were like, we can't do this. We're strong, independent women. We're going to run away.
We're going to strike.
We went on strike. We're like, fuck you, Alex James. Fuck you, Keith Allen. We don't need this. He called mum and said, the girls have run away. My mum was like, what? So he came looking for us. And I just remember being at the top of a field with like a hill and all three of us trying to go in different directions and Keith running at us and grabbing and just like huddling us together and dragging us back to the barge. And I was like, we are in so much fucking trouble.
It was the 90s.
Yes, happy memories. Happy memories.
Can we talk about the disappearance of Kate Middleton, please, for a moment?
What do you mean the disappearance?
Well, she hasn't been seen since Christmas Day. Actually, that's not true.
No.
She's been seen once in the car.
But she went to hospital.
That's what the palace is saying. But did she?
What could you possibly be implying?
I mean, well, you clearly haven't been like abreast of the conspiracy theories.
No.
The theories are she's left William, that they're not together anymore.
Shut the fuck up. No.
Well, yeah.
They wouldn't let that happen. Charles is ill. Harry and Meghan have gone.
Exactly. They haven't announced it, but she hasn't been seen. They've got this, she's been in surgery, but she was meant to be recovering for a month. It's odd. The whole thing is very odd. And she was seen in a car outside one of their palaces last week with her mum, which they took a picture of her, but none of the UK press printed it. And then on the weekend, the palace put out a photo of her and the 3 children on Mother's Day.
Yes, absolutely. What lovely photos.
And everyone was like, oh, look, there she is. Isn't she sweet? Cut to a few hours later, the Associated Press, Reuters, a bunch of other people sent out a kill notification on the picture The reason for the killing the story, at a closer inspection, it appears that the source has manipulated the image and no replacement photo will be sent.
I don't get it. So what?
So the photo had been like heavily photoshopped, right?
In what way? Like just to make them look prettier?
There's like a picture of her with the kids, her hands around the kids. She's got no engagement ring, no wedding ring on. The zip on the front of her thing is like cut in half. It literally looks like they have taken her head and put it on top on somebody else. Or at least that's what the sort of subtext, the internet subtext is.
You'd think they'd do a better fucking job if they're going to put this picture.
You would, wouldn't you? Anyway, so then everyone was like, holy shit, where is Kate Middleton? Can somebody please... we need a video of her with today's newspaper. Otherwise, people are not going to be satisfied. I mean, literally, people think she's like in a dungeon, being held against her will.
Oh my God, they're so in turmoil. This is not a good time to lose Kate Middleton.
But anyway, she or the palace have said...
Oh my God, it's a fake statement.
Kate's photo apology... This is what she put up. Like many amateur photographers, I do occasionally experiment with editing. I wanted to express my apologies for any confusion the family photograph we shared yesterday. I hope everyone celebrating had a very happy Mother's Day.
It's like a robot talking.
And that was put out on the Prince and Princess of Wales Instagram.
Dodgy. Suspect.
What the hell is going on? Something's going on. Something is going on.
Why would they refer to the edit? It's like if this is gonna be what you do, edit a picture, then again...
Here, the Associated Press initially published the photo which was issued by Kensington Palace. The AP later retracted the image because at closer inspection it appears that the source had manipulated the image in a way that did not meet AP's photo
guidelines.
Standards.
Yeah,
the photo shows an inconsistency in the alignment of Princess Charlotte's left hand.
Where do you think she is? Where could she be, Kate?
I don't know. I mean, maybe she's really ill. Maybe there's more to this stomach operation than meets the eye. Maybe she has left William. Who knows?
Kate Middleton would never leave Prince William. Come on.
Miquita, read a fucking newspaper. Seriously. Do you not know anything?
I
Jesus.
do. I just don't often read the royal section. I prefer the arts and literature and the gardening section. I'm not joking.
Well, you know I'm obsessed with power structures and, the
Yes,
royal...
I was going to say, don't say the royal family, the infrastructure of power. Yes, I do know. Yes. It's a hobby of yours, the study of that. Fucking hell, Kate, I hope you're all right, babe. I really do.
Yeah, send us a message. Call us at Miss Me.
Miss me at bbc.co.uk. Kate, just... You can tell us what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to take a little break. We need a little break from each other already.
Don't we just?
Welcome back to Miss Me on BBC Sounds.
Welcome back.
You're actually in America, so did you watch the Oscars? Because you can watch it at normal time. Civilized.
Yeah. Barbie...
Oh, God, who cares?
...was left out of the whole of the Oscars. I mean, apart from I'm Just Ken.
I love Greta Gerwig, but it's not really an Oscar-winning film.
Well, it definitely wasn't. I don't think they won anything.
What would you give it if you were going to give it an Oscar?
I mean, I actually thought that Margot Robbie's performance was good. I'm sad that she didn't get a nomination. I think that the thing I find interesting about that film, and it was really shown in the awards season campaign, is that it's a feminist movie, but the main sort of like character arc is Ken's.
Yes.
So it's like, why we've made a film about a woman, but you've given the big storyline to the man, and
what happens to Ken?
And he got nominations and she didn't. I mean, I guess maybe it's quite meta of her, though, to do that, because that is what the world is like. And I guess the way that ultimately we can have as many women being feminists as we like, but until we get men on side, it's not really. And maybe men can't be interested in a feminist story unless they're centred. So.
Unless there's a male-centred narrative arc.
Yeah.
Yes, because that film was $1 billion film, so it wasn't just women going to see it.
No, it was hugely successful. I mean, I was very moved by that America Ferrera speech.
Were you really moved by that speech? I thought it could have been written a lot better.
I was in tears.
Wow. You need to read some Maya Angelou.
All right, relax. Jesus.
No, but I mean, like, come on, my Oprah speeches are better than that.
Okay, good for you. I'm just saying, I was moved by it. I can't tell you. Maybe I was about to get my period or something.
No, but it's interesting. What I'm saying is it's interesting.
Jesus Christ.
What I'm saying, it's interesting what moves you and what moves me, because that really didn't move me. I'm more interested in the comeback of America Ferrera. Isn't that great? Like, she could have just been Ugly Betty, and she took some time out.
By the way,
came back like this.
About that, like, it's insane that America Ferrera, who is so pretty, it was like the lead in a program that ultimately was about somebody called Ugly was in the name.
Ugly Betty. And can I just say that the only thing that all they did was put her in glasses. And this was when I did T4. We used to throw to Ugly Betty. So this isn't that long ago.
Yeah.
It's not the 90s.
So nice, isn't it?
Ugly Betty.
It's almost it's like
Completely
when you
ridiculous.
look at Bridget Jones's diary now and she's talking about being fat and you're like, sorry, what?
I know.
Where?
I know. Or I watched a Friends episode and it is so homophobic. Like, ragingly homophobic. Shamelessly.
Oh, isn't it funny?
But anyway, I haven't watched the whole thing, but I think I've seen enough. I think what I saw was enough. But what I did watch was the SAG Awards, Screen Actors Guild Awards. And of course, all actors and directors and writers have been on a strike for a really long time. Was it sort of 9 months it lasted? And they've just come back from it getting what they want from their strike. And, you know, having their demands met. I don't know whether they've had all their demands met, but some demands have been met. You tell me.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was like a... Well, I know that because the Writers Guild went on strike before the Actors Guild did. So I think, you know, most of them were out of work for like 8 months. I said, I know damn well they were because my husband was sitting on the sofa.
Close to home. Come on, yes. How long was David at home?
A long time.
So they, you know, first it was the writers, then the actors in solidarity with and then, you know, the entire...
The writers came to an agreement with their guild and then union, and then the Screen Actors Guild went on a strike while they negotiated new terms. I think they have to renegotiate every 3 years. And so they, you know, there were a couple of sticking points in terms of like AI.
Yeah, obviously. I mean, I'm with them.
And residuals, you know, because the whole model's changed. Like, so, you know, it used to be that like every time an episode of Friends was played on Dave, like they'd get, you know, I don't know, however many £1,000 each, their actors. And that sort of doesn't really happen anymore with streaming. And so I think that they're trying to figure out new ways to be paid fairly. Because, you know, once something's on a streamer, people can go back and watch it as many times as they want. And the actors are not being remunerated for that. So they all were striking about that. And I was going, this has been happening in music for 20 years. No one gives a shit. And also, we don't have a union.
So the entire music industry doesn't have something like this. That
they do, but it just doesn't work. I don't know why. It just doesn't work. It's hard to get everybody on the same page, and it's hard to get people to stand up to, you know, the major labels and the streaming services in the same way. And I think that it has a lot to do with the fact that when you work for a studio, so let's say you're, you know, doing a show for Netflix or Amazon Prime or HBO Max or whatever, you're signed on as an employee of that company for the term that you're filming and, you know, promotion. Whereas when you're a recording artist, you're not. You're self-employed. So you are not protected, you know, in the same way. There aren't the sort of same processes that you would go through in terms of, you know, HR. Like, you're not
looked after.
You're not an employee. You're self-employed and you are licensed, basically.
Because of everything that this industry has been through, there was just this real heart and love in this throughout this award ceremony. They also Americans just do award ceremonies better than us. I think that they find it easier to be what is the right word? Like gushy, and I think we're a little bit too aware of ourselves to just thank God and thank our families and cry and be overwhelmed. I feel like everyone's just a bit too stush here. In America, everyone's just like weeping. And also, it was just classily done. I don't know, there was just something a bit chic about the whole thing, which is not how I felt after watching the Brit Awards.
What about the BAFTAs? Because it's interesting that you say that it's a cultural thing in terms of the countries that, put these events on. Because I think that, one of the reasons that I moved here is because, I feel like it's a much more encouraging environment in which
to do well.
My children can thrive. Yeah. And I feel like, even just an example of that would be, when I decided to do a play, even though I'd never acted before and, I certainly didn't have any experience in the theatre. When I would tell Americans about it, they'd be like, oh my God, that's so exciting. You're going to learn so much. You're going to kill it. And then when I tell English people about it, they'd be like, a play? Have you ever done that before? Aren't you scared? It's very, culturally, we're just very different. And so I think like an award ceremony where you're like meant to be vulnerable or at least not meant to be, but in America, you're vulnerable and emotional and proud of yourself.
And deeply celebratory of every moment.
Whereas in England, we have an attitude of like, yeah, well, so what? It's an award. Like, I don't really care. Like, anyway.
Oh God, if I was winning an award, I'd be very American about it.
Someone told me, I read somewhere recently that some famous actress, I want to say like it's Kate Winslet, but it might not be, keeps her Oscars in the sort of downstairs toilet in her house, so that when she has dinner parties, people can go to the toilet and they can hold the Oscar and do their speech in the mirror.
Oh, that's quite nice.
I know.
That's quite nice. Because if you see an Oscar, you want to pick it up.
Yeah, you'd be
You're
like,
not going to be like,
thank.
Wait, but you've done this. So I don't know, like, I've actually not done this. You've held something and said, whoa, I can't believe this is happening. Yeah. So how was that? How did you feel about your speech? Were you talking about Best Female at the Brits 2000
Well, actually, that one I didn't know that I was going to win.
Yes, hence the Annie wig.
Yes, that was a surprise. Yes. And I wore a wig because I thought that they wouldn't be able to pick me out to get my losing face. And then I only went and bloody won it.
only won it. And do you remember your speech? Did it go well? I can't remember.
I remember I was high.
Stop.
What? I'm sorry, I was.
Oh shit!
I don't know, going.
I wouldn't want to be out of my head on a stage.
No, I can absolutely tell you from experience that you probably shouldn't be high when you are accepting an award. No. Again, if I'd have known I was going to win that time, and usually they do tip you off, I wouldn't have been high.
Well, that's it, Lily. That's the end of the first episode of Miss Me.
Ooh, that was fun.
It was nice, wasn't it?
That was lovely.
Usually we probably talk to each other 5 times a week. So to talk to each other just twice, because we will be back on Monday with questions from the world to us.
Is it Listen Bitch?
It's Listen Bitch.
Listen Bitch.
And we will have a theme. I actually haven't told you this theme, Lil. Tell me if you like it. Boys from the 90s.
Jesus Christ.
That's boys from the 1990s.
Great.
Yeah?
Can't wait. Yeah.
Okay. Have you ever... I'll ask you on Monday.
I feel like it's quite a niche subject and it's geared towards Miquita. I feel like you're going to have some stuff to say and I'm not really, but that's fine.
Bollocks, you were there too. You can email us at missme@bbc.co.uk. I love that Miss Me has an email address. missme@bbc.co.uk. I love a voice note. Lily likes them, but not as much as me.
Yes, God, does she love a voice note, let me tell you.
Woo! If you feel like you can't do it in your friendship groups or with your parents, like this is the place. Voice note over here.
Or if your nails are too long and you can't be bothered to write it out, just voice note it. We're more likely to answer the question if you voice note it. There you go.
Yeah, because I want to know who people are.
Yeah.
I want to know where you live, who you are, and what you want to know.
What's your name? Where'd you come from?
Bye. I'll miss you.
Are we actually done?
Yeah, this is it.
So can I vape now?
Yeah, can I? Goodbye. We will see you on next week's episode of Miss Me.
Goodbye. We'll see you next week
Yes, we will.
for some more Miss Me?
Miss me.
Do you miss me? Do you miss me? You miss me, don't you?
Don't you miss me? Don't you miss me? Don't you miss me? Yes, you do miss me. Yes, you do.
Thanks for listening to Miss Me with Lily Allen and Miquita Oliver. This is a Persophonica production for BBC Sounds.
I mean, it just feels like you're eavesdropping, doesn't it? Or like hanging out with your own mates. It's brilliant. You can find Miss Me on BBC Sounds or wherever you're listening to this. Oh, and I do recommend as well having a hunt on socials, like I said, for those really cute videos of Lily and Miquita. They're either side of the pond, but it's so lovely just seeing them basically catch up. Once you've tapped follow for that, don't forget to tap follow for this show too, so you can find your next podcast. All of my recommendations from the whole series will also be on Podcast Rex at www.podcastrex.com. That is www.podcastrex.com.